Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we launched our resource scanning satellite for the moon. Got that placed in a polar orbit for the moon, so that's doing its scans. We also launched an infrared telescope into a solar orbit to get a little extra science and to see if it does anything with the various asteroid bodies in the relative Kerbal vicinity. Not sure what we're going to do about that, but we have the satellite there. And then advance time to the Longbow's encounter with Duna, and then proceeded to set up a aerobrake maneuver. We performed the aerobrake maneuver, which shaved, from my rough calculations, over 300 meters per second of delta V off of a potential capture burn. So we now are actually captured at Duna, though we're in a highly eccentric orbit at the moment, so we're going to have to make some adjustments there. And so, yeah, we are pretty much still proceeding with the Duna mission. We have nearly 600 science in the bank, which is nice, but we're going to go ahead and grab a bunch more. So, let's go ahead and get right back out there, because there's some things we need to do before we make some more maneuvers. So I want to go ahead and select the longbow here. And let's fly it. Now, I did turn the trajectories mod off, because it was really, with a ship of this size, it causes just a serious amount of just performance problems just to run it when you have an atmospheric intersect trajectory. So I'm going to try and eyeball things and hope it goes well. So, one of the things we really need to do here is, for one thing, I want to retract that antenna for a moment, get that out of the way, get these service bay doors open. And what I want to do is do a spacewalk with Bob and gather the data from our experiments here, reset everybody, and run more experiments, if possible. So that is going to be the plan. So let's go ahead and do that. This may be slightly tricky. And this is really one of the reasons why I wanted to have good performance, because this is going to require some fairly precise work here. And I don't want to bang into any solar panels. Okay, there we are. We're grabbed on. Let's see what we got here. First off, collect that data. Restore that guy. I'm not close enough, I don't think, to get that. Is there any data in any of those? No. Okay. Alright, let's move to the other side. here is where it's going to get a bit close. Okay, can I grab that data? Yes, remove that data. Restore that part. Okay, we're not close enough to those. I just need to check it over there. Oh, no. There we go. Collect that data. Restore that part. Take that data. Take that data. There we go. Now, where I actually want to put this data, hold on. Is there any data in this part? No. Okay. Alright, store the experiments there. There we go. Because that's what's coming home. Alright, let's check the main capsule here. Nope, nothing there. Alright. So, we need to get back on board. Where was that? It was down here. That's somewhat problematic. Not really. There we go. Board. I do have these things running, right? Yes, okay. Yep, okay. I only need 2 of them. Because I only have 2 on board. I can take 4, but you don't need to turn all 4 on if you don't have 4 crew members on board. Alright, so there we are. Oh yeah, all of my EVA reports and crew reports I transmitted back home. That's right. Okay, so that's done. Close that back up. All right, so there actually is something I want to do here. Well, first off, I want to get my periapsis a little bit higher. Maybe not completely out of the atmosphere, but higher than this. So I'm going to go ahead and warp to there. Okay. Tell Jeb to hold a prograde orientation. Oh, we're in shadow here. How are we doing for electric charge? No. We're actually not in shadow. Never mind. Let's get a little bit closer to apoapsis. That should be good enough. All right. Periapsis height is 24,376 meters. The top of the atmosphere is at 50,000 meters, I believe. I'm going to use RCS for this. Ooh, that's loud. I'm going to elevate that periapsis to about 35,000 meters. Okay. Excellent. Now, there is actually one thing that I also want to do, and I'm going to be using MechJeb a little bit for it, because it's going to require some precision here for the maneuver planner. I want to change my inclination to 0 degrees. I just want to see what the node looks like. 49.5 meters per second for the burn. It will change our periapsis to the same periapsis, essentially. Won't affect periapsis, but it is going to give us an icon counter. That's going to be interesting. We may be able to adjust that icon counter to see if it can change our orbital eccentricity. Right now, this is not what we want the end result to be. Well, the thing is that if we do this, we're going to have an arrow break, and this encounter is going to change. So we're actually not going to have this icon counter. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and execute that node. I'm going to tell it to go ahead and do it. Program all of the telemetry into the computers and let the computers take care of it. The reason is that I want, because when I land the lander, I want to make sure that it's going to be on the same plane as the mothership, so that when we take back off, we're not going to have a lot of extra delta V for orbital maneuvers. So we need to make sure that we keep things pretty precise for this. So that's the thought, because I don't want to be doing the rendezvous with the longbow because the lander ran out of gas. Alright, here we go. And there we are. All right, good. Okay, so let's orient toward prograde. And then we're going to want to warp to probably about there. Well, actually, we can go ahead and retract these solar panels. Warp to about there. $160,000 meters. Let's go ahead and warp us down to about 100,000 meters. Plus or minus. Go ahead and retract the rest of the solar panels. And prepare for the second aerobrake maneuver. We have a material study we can do. Do it. Keep that experiment. We'll go ahead and grab that data. All right, let's see. Yep, orbital parameters are changing. Because see, this is coming in behind Ike and letting Ike fling us into a higher orbit. If we could get out in front of Ike, we could use Ike to slow us down. You know, instead of coming around this side and flinging us this way, coming around this side and flinging us that way to slow us down relative to Duna. But I don't know if we'll be able to get that particular. See, now that's actually going to fling us into an escape trajectory. That's interesting. As that periapsis drops. Now we're on an impact with Ike. Not seeing any heating, and we're just about down to our periapsis height. So it's a much gentler braking maneuver than we did before. Alright, now we are flinging around to the other side. And now we missed the encounter entirely. Which is actually fine. Get that out of the way there. Alright, yep, we're past periapsis. Without the trajectories mod, I don't want to do these too aggressively. Alright, but if I were to experiment with, say, a maneuver node... How much we talking here? $150 meters per second? That's not bad. I could do one more break. Alright, there we are. We're above the atmosphere. Re-extend our solar panels. I don't know why we're wobbling like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab that material study again. Collect the data, restore the device. Store the experiment. And reboard. There we go. Let's loop us around to one more time. No, not that maneuver. Warp here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Warp there. This is just saving us lots of delta V, so. Alright, orient prograde. Get those solar panels retracted. And one more round. I think should be enough. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and actually accelerate things to 4 times physics acceleration to get us through here. Waps is coming down pretty quick. Alright, and as soon as we're above the atmosphere, we're going to go ahead and slow things back down. Redeploy our solar panels. And then we want to warp out here to apoapsis. And get our periapsis above the atmosphere, and then we'll do a circularization maneuver at periapsis to take care of business. All right, there we go. Turn on RCS. No, I probably should have did that before I finished, or after I finished the rotation. So it'll leave RCS for the rotation. Actually turn it off. Alright, let's turn it back on. Periapsis height is now at 40,000. I'm going to try and get at about 60,000 meters. Actually, maybe a bit higher than that. Maybe around 70,000 meters. Well, actually, 80,000 meters might be best. Make up your mind. All right. 80,000 meters it is. So I just want to give enough room between the upper atmosphere and the Longbow's orbit for the lander to perform the rendezvous burns that it's going to need to make. And there. Good enough. Alright, so at periapsis, you want to perform a burn. To circularize 243.6 meters per second. A 2-minute and 7-second long burn. Okay. Alright, I'll tell Jeb to hold the maneuver node. We don't need RCS. Okay, so it's a 2-minute burn, 7 seconds, which means we want to begin the burn at T-minus 1 minute and 3.5 seconds. Give or take. Still, all in all, it's going to cost us around... somewhere around 400 meters per second instead of over 600 meters per second to perform all these maneuvers. So, good show. EVA report, not worried about it. Or should I? Might as well, I guess. Review stored data, transmit it back home. Oh, right, I gotta re-extend the transmitter. There we go. Keep an eye on that timer for the node. Transmit that back home. Done. All right. Five, 4, burn. right. 40 seconds left. Looking good. Alright, get ready to cut off engines in 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, off. Overshot just a little bit. But we're okay. We're okay. Alright, good. Alright, so here is what we need to do. We need to top off the monopropellant tanks on board the lander because they've been used up a little bit. Okay, so the two procedural... Well, the procedural RCS tank, the main RCS tank, the cylindrical RCS tanks, there should be 4 of them. So let's go ahead and grab the main RCS tank here. And say, out. Alright. Everybody's topped off. Good. Alright. Let's go ahead and get ready for this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a quick save. Because, what do we got? Another EVA report. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Send that back home. All right, good. All right. Transfer crew to the lander. New crew on part. Okay, right. All right, then. Transfer crew. Transfer him to the lander. And then transfer the crew from here to the lander. All right. So, they should be all on board. And let's go ahead and undock. And let's just kind of... No. Actually, hold on. Change of plans. Kind of silly of me, I know, but I'm gonna redock. It should be fine. Okay, we redocked. Now the reason is because I don't like where we are in the orbit. I want to warp more to there. Electric charge is probably going to deplete fairly quickly. Yeah. It hit 0. Let's make sure that those guys are still on. Yep, that one's still on. That one's still on. All right, good. Okay. Now, if we're still controlling from here, go ahead and orient us in a prograde direction. Actually, no. Orient us in a retrograde direction, please. All right, there we are. Undock. Switch to the lander, turn on the RCS, turn on the stability assist, back us off. Just a little bit. Turn the RCS off. Orient us to a, well, make sure we're controlling from here. Right. We're currently faced retrograde. Or, we want to face retrograde, sorry. Now, I need to make sure that we get enough distance before I ignite these solid rocket boosters to deorbit us. Alright, are we clear? I think we're clear. Let's make sure that our staging is correct before we do anything else. Alright, so that's going to be the first thing we fire. And then we're going to blow those. Then we're going to do the drogue chutes, which are going to be these. Then we're going to do these chutes. Then we're going to fire that engine, but we need to make sure we ditch the heat shield first. All right. Here we go. All right. Retract those solar panels, please. Ditch those guys. Alright, we are on A landing trajectory. Oh, I need to make sure that I change this to distance to the ground rather than distance to quote-unquote sea level, because there is no sea level on Duna. Well, there is a defined sea level, but there's no water. So, we want to know how far we have to go before we smack into something hard. So, that's where we're at. Probably somewhere around 20,000 meters is where I want to go with those drogues. Because they'll start slowing us down. Nope, drogues are now not possible. We are slowing down. I don't even know if we're going to need this heat shield, but... Is it ablating at all? Not really. Alright, drogues are ready. Blow the drogues. Crew report. Keep the experiment. Atmospheric pressure scan. Keep the experiment. Mystery goo observation. Keep the experiment. Temperature scan. Keep the experiment. We're not doing the material study just yet. No, actually, do the material study. Because we can reset it. Bob's on board. Alright, main chutes deploy. Jettison the heat shield. Engage the engines. Alright, drogue chutes have deployed. Primary chutes have deployed. Gear down. Slow us down, slow us down, slow down, slow, and kill. We are down. Successful landing on Duna. Boom. Okay. There we are. So, let's go ahead and get our ladders extended. There we are. Okay. Good. We need to do a temperature scan. Keep it. Seismic scan. Keep it. Mystery goo observation. Keep it. Atmospheric pressure scan. Keep it. We need to EVA Bob. Whoa, Bob. EVA report. Oh, we are sliding. That's not good. Take a surface sample. Open the bay. Can you collect the data from there? Yes, and you can restore it. Yes. Okay. Take the data, store the experiments. Alright, let's get back on board. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we don't tip. We'll do the material study. Yep, and do another crew report. That can be transmitted back home. No usable in-range comms. Did I not bring a big antenna on this thing? I guess I didn't. That's alright. I don't like that I'm slowly sliding across the ground here. That's a fairly long slope, so I don't think there's anything I'm going to be able to do about it, except go ahead and just get our stuff done. We have no deployables for the surface here. Remove helmet. Yeah, not a good idea. Go ahead and let's plant our flag. Runaway lander. Alright. Let's get back on board. Okay, well that doesn't seem to work as well as I had hoped it would. Alright, so... Actually, there's one thing else I could do here. That's EVA... Oh, come on. Jump, EVA report. Got it. EVA report while flying. Done. Okay, there we are. Set that as target, I think. North, south, east, right? Is the direction we would want to go. I'm trying to decide if I'm done here on the surface and if I'm ready to take off. I think I am. Alright, let's get those solar panels closed. Let's get those ladders retracted. Then we got everything we came here to get. And let's... Let's get back in orbit. Alright, we want to get our apoapsis height somewhere around 60,000 meters. And that is correct. Mystery group observation. Temperature scan? Atmospheric pressure scan. Alright. And cut it off. Alright, good. Set up a maneuver to circularize for orbital insertion. I have 496 meters per second needed. I have 1,000 meters per second in the tank. It's going to be a 39-second burn, which means that we're going to want to start firing in about 20 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. We're still in atmosphere, so... as long as it doesn't slow us down too much, which it shouldn't. Redeploy those. What's my life support? 9 days. Alright. Alright, and burn. Alright, and cut. 64, 53. We're in orbit. We have 500 meters per second of delta V left for orbital maneuvers. Excellent. Alright, but I think that process, which is going to take a little while, we'll go ahead and save for next episode. So we'll get that done, and then we'll see what it is we'll do from that point. See about getting this guy docked back up, and then see what else we might be able to do. If an Ike landing is possible, I would like to do it, but I don't think I'm gonna have the monopropellant left to make that happen. Ooh. Our inclinations are not quite lined up. It should be close enough. We'll see how it goes. Alright, but for now, we'll stop here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.